What's going on, guys? Today we are going to watch a 3 or 4 minute video clip of Shai Dash, the lead developer of Kaspa, talking about why he thinks that Kaspa is better than Bitcoin. So, without any further ado, let's jump right on into it. Alright guys, before we get started here and watch this video clip, I want to just remind everybody to download their Kaspa wallet, get it set up, get it created, get it funded, just in case you do want to play in the KRC20 ecosystem when it goes live. I would assume this week, because this is the last week in June and it's supposed to be out by the end of June. Haven't heard anything otherwise. So, also, make sure that you get yourself a Tangem wallet. Very important and safest way you can store your crypto. Keep it off of the interwebs, away from hackers, and away from anybody that can steal your funds. So, it is a necessity if you do not already have one. If you can afford to get more than one, I also recommend doing that if you can. It diversify equally between 2 or 3 different wallets, and it adds an extra layer of security. So links for both of those are down in the description, and for your Tangem wallet at checkout, make sure you use the code CATDADDY for 10% off your purchase. So let's move on to this video clip here, and I just want to play it. It's about 3 or 4 minutes long, and it is Shai explaining why he thinks Kaspa is better than Bitcoin, and I think it's a nice little clip. And also, this is a video by Sin City Crypto, who sat down with Wolfie and sat down with Shai, and it was a 41-minute interview, and I actually recommend everybody, if you've got the time, go back to Sin City Crypto's YouTube page and find this Kaspa exclusive interview and sit down and watch the whole thing if you can. I've already played a clip previously from this video about tier 1 centralized exchanges that Kaspa is potentially going to list on by the end of this year, so they think. So those are, there's already 2 nuggets in this video which are worth playing back, in my opinion, and there's plenty more too. So if you get a minute and you haven't already, go over and watch this whole interview with them. But let's go ahead and play the video here and take a listen.
Okay. And okay, so a little info there for you. Now I want to kind of get Shai in this conversation, and Shai, you're the co-author of the Ghost Stack protocol. You've worked directly with Jonathan, who is the founder of Kaspa. And we have your buddy Mike, I believe is his name, to thank for that. I know you've told the story plenty of times, so we're not going to ask you about it, but you were kind of hesitant at first to get involved with the project, and then you had a friend named Mike, if I'm correct, right? He kind of nudged you a little bit, so to say, right? Or at least what we kind of talked about in that interview you did. But what are some ways, because people look at Bitcoin, they say Bitcoin is gold. And then here comes Kaspa, proof of work, mining, right? Instead of 1 block every 10 minutes, 1 block per second, now getting to 10 blocks per second. And we'll talk about the potential, like how scalable can Kaspa really get. But we see a lot of comparisons of Bitcoin, Kaspa, but Kaspa is a better version. What are some ways that Kaspa on a fundamental level is better than Bitcoin and could potentially do things better and more than what Bitcoin is currently capable of doing?
I first say that Bitcoin is amazing. Bitcoin is one of the greatest milestones, or the first milestone in this entire new world, which behind the economical repercussions is just theoretically very, very interesting. Just from a mathematical point of view, it completely changed how we think about what the decentralized system can do. So it came out with this amazing innovation of how you could take this thing called proof of work, which was known before that. It was suggested as an anti-spam protocol by Moni Naor and Cynthia Dvork, in I think as early as 1994. But taking it and using it to achieve this new kind of consensus approach, it was an incredible milestone. But as a product, as a technological product, it has a lot of problems. And it's not because the people who implemented it or conceived it were dumb. They were extremely smart, some of the smartest people in history. But they made the same mistake you would make when you do something for the first time, and when you have no idea in advance what sort of scale your system will eventually be aiming for. And we've learned a lot from these mistakes, and we tried to find a way to take these ideas and take them a level or a few levels further. There were some intermediate attempts in between them, but the way I see it, I might be biased, but I think the first checkpoint was Bitcoin, where they came up with this entire new idea and blew everything away. The second checkpoint was Ethereum, and that they understood that you can take this expressiveness of Bitcoin, this very limited expressiveness, and bust it wide open. And I think the third checkpoint is Kaspa. I think it might be, GhostDAG might be the third most important protocol from a theoretical standpoint, from a computer science standpoint. It might be a bit presumptuous of me to say, and I do remind my bias here, but it seems to me like it's the maturation of the ideas that were first sprouted in Bitcoin into something very cohesive, something very aware of all of the problems in the original design. And we incorporated a lot of insights, not just from the world of mathematics and consensus, but we also understood, we took a lot of lessons from economics and from fee markets and from usability and what people want and don't want to do with this stuff, and how we can take new approaches and insights that were there before us and use them, and to create this one thing that meets as many criteria as we just can. I think coming up with this modern solution, but with this old grassroots approach together, allowed us to accomplish something very new, something which is takes the ideas of Bitcoin but removes many of the limitations. And I think the two most important limitations are the throughput and the confirmation times, the responsiveness of the network. But all of this, we also found out during the development that the structure and the way things work and the high parallelism actually enable a lot of stuff that we didn't expect in terms of fee markets and security budget, in terms of MEV resistance, in terms of just understanding the network better and creating more aware and more powerful protocols.
So I like his approach there, where he said they took a grassroots project and they put a modern touch on top of it because it needed, new life bred into it in order to work with current technology and what, the crypto world, wants things to do nowadays. He said that Bitcoin back in the day was some of the smartest people in the world, but they didn't understand the implications of what they may have needed it to do as far as throughput and as far as scalability back in the day that we now know today. So what Kaspa is essentially trying to do is, like we've all said before, be a better version of what Bitcoin set out and tried to do. And now we've got the scalability and the throughput, and I guess you put a modern twist on, Bitcoin being grassroots project that popped up, 12 years ago or whatever it was now. So I also like the fact that he said that he thinks that Kaspa, and clearly he, admitted that it may be biased, but he said that Kaspa is the third most important technology to come out of the crypto space since Bitcoin, was number one back in 2010. And Ethereum being number two because you can build, they invented smart contracts. You can build up on top of Ethereum. And Kaspa is now basically the best of both worlds. You get the scalability, you get the security, and you also get decentralization on top of that, which essentially solves the trilemma, which no other project can solve, or has been able to solve up until now, we think. So I just wanted to kind of, run that clip by you. I thought it was important to hear that from his mouth, and I would like to know what you guys think down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? And do you think that Kaspa is essentially the third most important technology in the crypto space, since Bitcoin and since Ethereum? And we can argue that Kaspa is better than both of them, but let's give respect to those who came before us, Bitcoin and Ethereum, clearly we're, monumental in creating something that, the world hadn't seen yet. And I think Kaspa's coming in as that number 3, and it's going to take the best of Bitcoin and the best of Ethereum and create and take the space to another level. So let me know what you think down below. Pack your damn bags before it's too late. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.